If you consider yourself a foodie, please raise your hand. My name is Andrew Cook, and through my career resources like a nutritionist and professional studies, I found basic and easy to follow tips on how to optimize your body performance through proper dieting and why this benefits you. The 3 macronutrients are the critical things we should be mindful of in our diet. We have carbohydrates, which are essential for energy production and sustainment, protein, which allows our body to build and repair, and fats, which also help with energy reserves and fueling other functions like absorbing and transporting vitamins. Let me start with the fuel that helps us get through those long days, and I'll use this poster to provide you a form of reference as we go along. Carbohydrates, which are here in blue, or carbs for short, are the main source of fuel for your body, and 1 gram of carbs is 4 calories. If you know you're going to have a long day, whether that includes physical activity or not, you should adjust your carb intake accordingly. You may have heard all carbs are not created equal, and that's probably the most accurate truth to them. The 3 categories are sugars, starches, and fibers. Sugars and starches provide glucose, which is the main energy source for the brain, central nervous system, and red blood cells. Carbs, when processed, produce glycogen, which is stored in the liver and muscles. Without this specific process, your muscles wouldn't have the adequate amount of energy to keep you going during the day. Also, fiber is used to aid in digestion and feeling satiated, or in simple terms, full. If you feel tired and even caffeine isn't doing the trick for you, I'd probably consider looking at what and how many carbs you are ingesting. For a baseline 2,000 calorie diet, carbs should make up 45 to 65% of them. An easy math tip is just to consider half the calories you eat should be carbs, which is shown here in the graph in blue. And we'll break that graph down a little bit more as we go along. As we're burning energy, our bodies eventually need to repair structures like muscle. Protein intake from animal and or plant-based sources will allow for not only muscle repair, but for body development. 1 gram of protein is the same as carbs, which is right at the 4 calories each for math. The body process and breakdown of these proteins and use the amino acids. The only place we get essential amino acids are from these 2 sources of food. Protein is found throughout the body. It's in muscles, bone, skin, hair, and virtually every other body part or tissue. It makes up the enzymes that power many chemical reactions and the hemoglobin that carries oxygen in your blood. An even cooler fact is that your body is composed of over 10,000 different proteins. Common ones you may have heard of are whey protein, which comes from milk, collagen, which is in your connective tissues like your joints, and keratin that provides structure in your hair, nails, and epidermis, which is the outermost layer of your skin. If you don't eat enough protein over time, it's known as protein deficiency. It can cause stunted body development, weakened respiratory system, and the most obvious one, muscle mass loss. A common energy indicator of not having enough protein is usually weakened and brittle nails. Usually like your nail will start to chip a little bit more often than it normally does, and that's how you know. You should aim for the minimum of 0.8 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight for sustainment, but more if your goal is to gain muscle. The caloric goal here is 10 to 35% of daily intake, and the reason for this large range is because the specific weight of the person by kilogram varies by person. In order to fuel your movements and activities, you must eat and drink macros and water to sustain your energy. Fats are very important for your energy reserves and organ protection. They transport fat and soluble vitamins you eat by absorbing them, so without it in your digestive system, many of the fat-soluble vitamins are disposed of before your body has the opportunity to benefit from them. And the fats have 9 calories per gram, and it's right here in the orange. The big part of what you want to consider is not cutting fats entirely out of your diet, but taking a look at what kind of fats you're eating, because they're not created equal. The 3 main ones are unsaturated fats, which are good, saturated fats that are okay in moderation, and trans fats that are bad even in low amounts. 2 big food favorites for people wanting to add healthy fats to their diet lately have been avocados and fish. I'd maybe not recommend eating them at the same time, but that's kind of up to you. Easier options to consider are nuts and seeds, since they're commonly available in most stores and gas stations and come in a travel size bag for easy usage. Trans fats are the biggest ones hiding in processed foods that you get in the middle aisle of the grocery store and also fast food restaurants. Fat intake should range from 20 to 35% of your daily diet, which is again here inside this pie chart. And if you don't eat enough good fats, which are the unsaturated ones, the protective fats you store around your organs, which is known as brown fat, will start to diminish, and your energy will also go down during prolonged physical activities. Again, always do your best to tie your macros into what you're digesting and your daily activities for the day and even the next day. Since your body needs varying time to digest and process certain types of food, I've broken down the average 2,000 calorie diet down into easy math segments, which is down here at the bottom. For the pie chart, we have carbs at 50%, and that gives you about 1,000 calories in the day. Because carbs are 4 calories each, that should give you 250 grams of carbs to eat in the evening. We have 30% of protein, which gives you 600 calories. Again, you divide it by 4 calories, and that'll give you 150 grams. Fat at 20% will give you 400 calories. Because it's at 9 calories, it's only at 44.5 grams. Carbohydrates, proteins, and even fats play critical roles in how we feel and perform both in short term and long term. They manage energy levels throughout the day and help your central nervous system operate efficiently. You can and should be at least mindful of what you're eating and how it affects you. By managing your diet, you master your body. Every small adjustment matters. I would also like to add that these food considerations primarily pertain to people who don't currently have any illnesses or diseases, because they may alter how your body naturally works. Major diet changes can and should be discussed with a doctor or licensed professional. Thank you.